Hey everyone, this is Cindy, and I want to continue discussing with you writing vignettes and memoirs. And this will be very short, but a couple of things have come to my attention recently. And one is I discussed previously about Matthew McConaughey's new memoir that's out, and how that I'm totally in love with this book, and that I've read the printed version, and I've also listened to the Audible. And there is something specifically, or actually a couple of things I want to bring up for you if you're choosing to read this. Number one is when I talk about the voice of a writer, it's not the verbal voice that you listen to, although that's great with him too. It is actually about someone writing the way that they talk. I've had people read my writings before, and so I would know that that was you, Cindy, because it just sounds like you. Your writing sounds like the way that you talk. And that's what voice is all about. So if you're interested in just telling one small story about your life, you don't have to write a book of stories, but and it's just something you're doing for yourself, or you're journaling, or it's kind of like a diary type story, but you've got a story you want to tell. You write it the way that you talk. That is voice. When you can read something and you don't know who the author is, but you know that person, yes, that is whoever. They are writing with voice, and that's very important to a writer, especially if they're telling their true stories. Next, I wanted to bring up something that I did not bring up when I discussed Green Lights by Matthew McConaughey in the last video. And that is, I was looking through it. Now, when you look through the book, you'll see all kinds of things. His post-it notes he had done, his pictures, all kinds of stuff. It's very interesting. So don't just listen to the Audible. You've got to go through the book as well. And I think each has a different experience for you, but they're both awesome. I just noticed this afternoon that at the very back of his book, he's got some pictures, and he's in his handwriting. He has some things he said, but he said, it takes work. It's all a verb. Life, love, architecture. And I stopped and I thought about it. Life and love, it's all a verb. Because, oftentimes we use, or most of the time probably, we use life as a noun in a sentence, and we use love as a noun. And I started thinking about it. Well, when you're writing, it's back to that old adage, show, don't tell. You can say, I've had a good life, or you can write and explain and never have to say it was a good life, but write your stories and they'll know it was a good life. That makes it more of a verb. Love is the same way. You can't say, I just love him. That's telling, but how about showing? Just showing the experiences you've had. It could be with an animal. It could be with your flowers you're growing outside. It could be with a special person. But not to say, I love this or that, but just show them what you do with this person, or what you are doing with that flower bed outside, and all of the effort you're putting into it, and all the pleasure that it gives you, or it could even be the misery that this love has given you. But love can be a verb, and it should be in your writing. And the life should also be a verb in your writing. Tell the story. You never have to let anyone see this story, and I used the wrong word when I said tell the story. Really, it's show the story. And even if it's just 1-2-page story, you could just leave it for yourself to read when you're older, or for anyone to read, or no one to read. That's what this is all about. It's not about trying to get published or be the big name, even though some people that may be your goal. But for a lot of people, it's just a self-therapy. It could be a cleansing, and it could definitely just being I want to show my memories. Good, bad. We hate the ugly, but if you're strong enough to get there, the ugly as well. Okay, that's what I wanted to share with you. And I'll talk to you next time, and I will be talking about more memoirs and bringing up different things in your writing that will make your writing better. Thanks. See you next time.